Page 65, Just a Closer Walk. This is a piece with a lead sheet again, and we can talk about improvising a little bit. On the previous pages, they're introducing you to different flavors of triads. See, intervals have different flavors to them. I call them flavors. They're variations. Well, the chords do too. And we can have an augmented, have they really talked about major and minor chords? We need to cover that if you want to understand what augmented and diminished chords are. I mean, one thing at a time. A major chord is simply a major third and a minor third together make up a major chord. Because it's all built on intervals. Remember intervals? They're kind of important. So a major third and a minor third is a major chord. A minor chord is simply a minor third and a major chord. A minor third and a major third, you switched them. Minor chord. Well, augmented means to increase or augment. And you simply take a major chord and you take the top note and up a half step. That would be a C augmented. That's all it is. It's a major chord with the top note going up a half step. The diminished chord starts with a minor, and you take the top note and you go down a half step. So a diminished chord is all minor thirds. Here, minor third, minor third. Used a lot in minor keys. And that's a diminished chord. They give you examples and you can go look at those and have fun. If you have questions, you're welcome to ask. There's plenty of YouTube videos that give lessons on music theory. You can check those out too. But these things come in handy when you start improvising because you can use these different flavors of chords to enhance the harmony. Let's take a look at Closer Walk. The first thing, of course, you want to make sure you got the melody down. So let's cover that first. The third finger here, it's in 4/4 time. And then we have this G sharp just here. F natural. And then the next line, you have a rest. You come up. You have a rest at the end of the second line, you come up again. These notes are tied, and then there's no rest here, but it's the end of a phrase, so you just lift up and move. Just lift up here. 3. So make sure you got the melody down, because when you start thinking about the chords, you don't want to have to spend too much time thinking about the melody. Then we take the chords. We're just going to take, I suggest just to make sure you know what the chords are first. So the first, it's a C chord, just a regular C chord, no big deal. You do that for 2 measures. And then you have the G7/B. Well, that's a G7 chord with a B, the note B on the bottom. Because the G7 chord is here. There's a B in the chord. That doesn't have to be. I mean, they could put any note on the bottom. In this case, it's there. And they're simply telling you this chord, but they want the B on the bottom. So therefore, I'm going to put the G on top. It's first inversion. And a lot of times, we don't use all 4 notes. It makes it heavy. So we just use 3 of them. It's not quite so heavy. And that's what that is. It's the G7. It's a 1 chord, G7. 5/7 chord. And you're going to stay with that for a bit until the next line, third measure over back to C. And then go down one line and you can see the F/C. Well, that is an F chord with a C on the bottom. So an F chord is here, but we want the C on the bottom, so we're going here. So this is a typical arrangement of our primary chords. And that's what this is actually using. The last line is a C, and then back to that G7 with a B on the bottom, here, and a C. And once you have the chords worked out, I suggest try playing the melody with the chords so you can see if it sounds alright. You might have something wrong, you never know. You keep doing that. happy with your chords, then you can start thinking about breaking them up a little bit. They're using broken chords. There's all kinds of patterns for broken chords, so try that pattern. At the end for you. You don't have to do that pattern. You can do, I mean, there's a thing called an opera. Anything that works in 4/4 time. To do that, you can play any kind of a pattern your imagination cares to come up with. Maybe you switch it up. Use a combination of stuff. You can put in some rest in the left hand. You don't have to play solid all the time. It's up to you. And you can even alter the rhythm a little more. Maybe you want to make it a little jazzy. Anything your imagination goes, and you can get quite complicated with all this stuff. But that gives you some ideas, I hope, on improvising.